Hey, Bohemian Trap City here, back with another vlog. It's October 21st, and this completely unscripted, off the top of the head, whatever comes up. Give you little tidbits. So to start off, there is a trend in engineering that a lot of discoveries and innovation happens at the margin. So this idea came to me when I was reading Arthur Clarke's Voices Across the Sea, and there was a race on, or a goal of getting a transatlantic cable uh, laid down, and ships were failing because they couldn't get enough cable on board, and they were running out halfways or partways, until a British naval engineer had made a really grandiose ship that would be able to carry out the mission. And what conception he was working with is that if you increase the ship size, the carrying capacity of the ship increases as a square of the. It's a square relationship. For every one increase, well, one is not a good example. For every two increase in size, you can carry 4 times the load of the original. So it's inverse proportion with the tonnage being squared. So another example of innovation at the margin is I briefly built like hydraulic pumps. Specifically, they were called axial pumps. The key feature was that they had a cylinder block, and the cylinder block would rest upon a swash plate, and at every turn of the cylinder block, the swash plate would bounce the cylinders that were sitting on top of it up and down, creating a pressure differential, and that would suck oil in at high pressure. And that is how industrial pumps and machinery pumps work. But I guess what relates to this is that the off switch, which was contained inside a control on the side of the pump, had gullies that communicated with the internal pump, and the actual control mechanism for turning on and off the pump was a little spool. Now, that spool didn't have the surface area to affect a large flow of oil, and the gullies weren't transporting as much oil as the actual cylinders were. So, but just because of that pressure difference, you create a low pressure area, and suddenly all the oil is transferred through that little port by the spool and into a non-working, well, into the case of the pump. Very interesting idea, because that spool, once again, it's so minute that if it was in the wrong place, it would get destroyed by the pressure of the pump. But placing it in that little space and having its motion constrained and having only a smidget of oil contacting it at any one time, it can turn off like 5,000 millibar of pressure off from a pump in seconds. So that's another example of engineering work being done at the margin. So I guess it also depends on how you look at things. I guess engineers see things different, such as like the modern engine of a F1 car is called a power unit. I'm sorry, a power plant. Kind of interesting of the idea of having a power plant. you think of a nuclear power giant thing, and that's kind of I guess the wit behind it. But the reason they do that is because they argue that the engine is no longer an engine because it's a hybrid engine. It uses a combination of things for power, and therefore it's not a typical internal combustion engine. Let's call it a power plant. Similar to that, but even more far-fetched, the Team Andy Green, the man who in 1999, or was that 97? I'm sorry. Set the world record driving the thrust SSC. Had created a new car with which he was trying to build, demolish his old record, but he ended up setting a new record by some tens of miles per minute or whatever. But so he had said, and this is a rocket-powered car again, like his first one. So this is a combination jet engine and turboprop engine, and it uses hydrogen peroxide for one of the fuels, and the other engine uses just jet fuel. And so he kind of played a little gag on the reporters. It just says that technically this is a hybrid car because it has two sources of energy. Now, do we want to take him on his word that it pertains to all the hybrid things that we generally find acceptable, such as not polluting? Probably not. But there we have it. Have you ever thought about the power of hydrogen, not hydrogen, of the actual vacuum pump? We were told that if the pump had malfunctioned on a test stand, it would send anematized oil at such speed, and there was a cover obviously on the test stand, but it sent that molecule at such speed that it would shred through the skin, like penetrate the skin, and it was moving like at 5,000 miles an hour. It's like supersonic speeds. So that's how fast that would emit an anematized oil. That's a big one, and hot. It got really hot. So have you ever thought about cleaners? Now, I noticed one time that I'm a tea drinker, I'm European, and sometimes you get that you get residue on your cup from tea, just like coffee. And I happen to notice ever since I was young that if you get tea around the tea stain, it actually moves the stain. So tea's capable of cleaning tea stains. There's old wives' tales about things cleaning that you wouldn't necessarily think, such as gasoline cleaning things, tomato juice cleaning things, or lemon juice cleaning things. But yeah, cleaning like with like. Now, what do you use to clean oil? You use detergent. Sometimes they package detergent and oil into car oil. Supposedly makes it performance oil. Now, you can clean with gasoline. You can grind with gasoline. Gasoline is technically an oil. It can take off paint. What do you use to clean gasoline? Thank you.